Which MP5 is overall better? YouTube, welcome in and a big shout out to the Noti gang. Today's video, we're gonna dive deep into the battle of the MP5s. Now, both the Modern Warfare and Cold War MP5s have both been great, but we're here today to see which one is the best right now. I've played many games with both and made builds that accommodate to me, and we're finally here to settle the debate. Now, first up, we have my beloved Modern Warfare MP5. Right off the bat, I definitely love the Modern Warfare MP5 more than the Cold War MP5. The Modern Warfare gun does feel a little bit nicer to use, and I'm a little bit more natural with the Modern Warfare version. To start out this build that we are going to compare today, we are rocking the Monolithic Integral Suppressor. Now, the great thing about this barrel is that it includes a monolithic suppressor inside of it, so that's why we can't put a muzzle here. After that, we have only 5 milliwatt laser, and that's going to help us out with some hip fire accuracy and sprint to fire speed. Next up, we have the foregrip that I always rock on any Modern Warfare SMG. That is the Merc foregrip. That helps us out with the recoil control and hip fire accuracy as well. Then we got on the best magazine. That is the 45 round mag, and you're definitely going to need it. And we pair that with the sleight of hand so we can jump right back into the fight after we reload. Now, like I said, I really do love the Modern Warfare MP5 a whole lot more. The iron sights are better in my opinion. The mobility I really enjoy. The magazine size is a decent size, and I really enjoy the recoil control on the Modern Warfare MP5. The Modern Warfare MP5 is definitely like an old reliable build for me. It's something that I can always go back and enjoy no matter what the meta is currently. The Modern Warfare MP5 always seems like a breath of fresh air to use again, and throughout all the seasons, it's been decently good at worst. Now, let's jump into the Cold War MP5. This Cold War MP5 is a good looking weapon. It's got a great magazine size and great mobility. To start out this Cold War MP5, we are rocking the Agency Suppressor. I'm always rocking either an Agency or a GRU suppressor on any of my Cold War guns. Our next attachment opens up a little bit more mobility with the Raider stock. That definitely helps us scoot around the map a little bit. And then I did switch it up for the third attachment. Normally I run a Bruiser grip for the hipfire accuracy and movement speed, but I did want to put on this speed grip. The speed grip helps us with horizontal recoil control and also some sprinting move speed. And then we do have an upper hand compared to the Modern Warfare MP5 already with a bigger magazine. And then we slap on the Serpent Wrap for a little better ADS speed. Now, while I do prefer the base Modern Warfare MP5 compared to the base Cold War MP5, the Cold War version does a lot of things good that the Modern Warfare doesn't. Already we have a better magazine. We're already using a stock to help us out with the movement speed. Our foregrip has emphasis on recoil control and sprinting move speed. And while I do like the iron sights on Modern Warfare MP5, the Cold War MP5 version that I'm using now is really nice and convenient not having the full circle iron sight. Let's go and dive into the stats. Now, this chart is a comparison of the builds that I just showed you. Now, we're going to divide this chart into 3 different segments. Let's go ahead and jump into the first little segment here. You can see around the 10 meter mark is where they get a little bit different, but within the 10 meters, you can see that the Modern Warfare MP5 has a clear advantage. The Modern Warfare MP5 within 10 meters has a definite advantage against the Cold War. Once we get outside of the 10 meters, you can see that it's a little bit closer. The Modern Warfare MP5 does fall off a little bit compared to the Cold War. The Cold War is a little bit better, roughly about 0.04 milliseconds, but from 10 meters and out, the Cold War MP5 does seem to be really consistent. So already we see that the Modern Warfare MP5 is better up close within those 10 meters, but as soon as you get out of it, that Cold War takes an advantage. The Cold War MP5 has better damage range and stays a little bit better with the time to kill. You can see another drop off in TTK for the Modern Warfare MP5 after 20 meters, while the Cold War MP5 is still staying consistent. This is very huge, and we got some more stats to jump into, brought to you by True Game Data. So again, here's a comparison for both the MP5s, but this is a little bit more specific. For the ADS speed, you can see that the Cold War has an advantage here. Moving down the fire rate, you can see the Cold War has an advantage again. For the base range, you can see that the Modern Warfare has a slightly better advantage, but that's also what the chart just showed. The bullet velocity is slightly better for the Modern Warfare MP5, but I talked about it before, but the movement speed on the Modern Warfare is actually better than the Cold War, which kind of shocked me. Now, the ADS movement speed, the advantage does go to the Cold War MP5. The sprint to fire time is actually an advantage to the Cold War. I did think that the laser for the Modern Warfare MP5 would have helped it there, but it actually does not as much as whatever we got on the Cold War. The TAC sprint to fire time is also an advantage to the Cold War. And then you can see the recoil changes here, both vertically and horizontally. I can definitely feel that change in vertical recoil control from the Modern Warfare MP5 to the Cold War. The Cold War does seem to be a little bit more aggressive with the vertical recoil, and that's why I do feel a little bit more accurate and a little bit more comfortable with the Modern Warfare MP5. The reload time is better for the Modern Warfare MP5, and that is probably given because we have the sleight of hand perk on it. The mag size again is better on the Cold War by 5 bullets, and then you have the rest of those stats down below. Now, both these guns are great, and I think anybody can get a kick out of either of these. Personally, my favorite is the Modern Warfare MP5, but competitively, it looks like the Cold War might be better. Getting these videos videos together for you guys. I was struggling to use the Modern Warfare MP5, even though I was surprised at some of the fights I was winning. The Cold War MP5 actually helped me get my highest kill game of the day and a dub. So the Modern Warfare version is my comfort gun, but competitively, if I need to go into a tournament or something, I'm definitely bringing this Cold War version over the Modern Warfare version. Cold War has way too many advantages, and the damage range and it staying consistent is such a good dub. Now take these stats in my words and use them however you need to. Now we're gonna go ahead and jump into this Cold War MP5 gameplay so you can see exactly why I give this the advantage.
2, 3.
I am fighting some bots right now, dude.
Maybe not.
Mercenaries called in a supply chopper to offload their cash reserves.
So straight up bolts, bruv.
Still remain in the yard.
Yeah, I'm kind of ripping with this.
Got me in their sights. Shit, under heavy fire here.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't know how it's set up, but
I'm there.
Spied an enemy radar jammer in your area.
Our War MP5s both had diamond on them. Pretty sick.
hey, Jeff, I'm so ready for normal. Lucky.
He really waited. So I guess we wait for him to get rezzed and then he rebounded. That was pretty sick, sad.
Mates are all until they redeploy.
I'm actually an idiot. I got it. Why would I want to jump?
Oh, I snapped on this guy.
This guy's got this NZ still on burst mode? What are we doing?
And leave my mans alone. I hate that perk, bro.
Five remain. Stay sharp.
Last one's in front of me.
Easy, baby.
And one. Nice
Little
one.
19 piece of the Cold War MP5, bro. What?